Okay, welcome to our webinar. Just to go quickly through our program for the day, we're going to be looking at fiction, what the government has set up, and why we have all the problems today. They've set up a fiction. We're going to look at liberty and really come to an appreciation of the meaning of liberty and what liberty really is. We're going to look at virtue. Virtue is synonymous with justice, and our justice system is built upon virtue. Without virtue, we cannot have justice. We're going to look at the real law, and then we're going to look at the election process today. Now tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to start off with a short introduction again. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to talk about, but fill in some of the blanks of what we missed today. We're going to be looking at the plan, what exactly is our plan and how we plan to execute it. Then we're going to look at the handbook. Now we have a 45-minute record of the handbook. I might do that live, and we'll see once, because I don't think we have to read as much as I actually did. I think we just want to kind of breeze through it, and people should be reading that on their own. That handbook's going to be made available online tomorrow. All of this, everything we're doing today, will be available online tomorrow. The committee man, well, actually, it'll be available today. We'll talk about that in a short while. We're going to look at the committee man. We're only going to spend about 25 minutes. One of the interesting things about the committee man is that in New York State it's a facade like anything else. I'm absolutely crystal sure that it's a facade in every state, and there's a few ways that you can see how that might be. And so tomorrow in the introduction I might talk a little bit about how what's going on in New York might relate to the rest of the states. We have kind of put things together in a way that works with every state. So let's look at that right now. Those who have been out to our website in the last 2 days have noticed that we've changed a lot of things out there. We now have a website called National Liberty Alliance, and if you put into your URL newyorkcommitteeman.org, you'll come to this page. And this page is really pretty much telling you that we've changed our name to Liberty Alliance and why we've done that. Of course, we did that to accommodate the other 50 states. And so people want to make note of that and bookmark our new website, nationallibertyalliance.org. So when you're in this page, all you have to do is just click on the door here, or there's a couple places, actually the sidebars here too, and you come to the front page. We've redesigned our front page a bit also, mostly to focus in on the grand jury and what our plan is. We've got a lot of things going on, as you can go through our website and see over here. But the most important thing we're doing, I think the most important the most important thing anybody could do in this country, in my opinion, is to get involved with the grand jury. Continue to do whatever it is you're doing, but get involved with the grand jury. Register for the grand jury, which we're going to talk about. We just set up a national registry, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But everybody should register for the grand jury. And even if you can only participate, a day out of the year, that's fine. Okay, you get we're looking for a large registry, and you'll get the call one day, and you may not be available, and that's fine. We'll recycle your name, or you might not be available for those dates, and you might be able to give us some dates and say, I'm going to be available this week or this month or whatever for a day or two. If you're called for the grand jury, it's usually one day. If you're called to become a trial jurist, it's usually 1 to 3 days. Very rarely the trial's longer than that. I don't know how long a trial could possibly go for, but I think it's very rare that you get really anything very long. So we kind of made some changes. We're doing both the grand jury and the jurist, and we're all going to be all. There are certain people that have the ability to put a lot of time into this. Maybe they're retired or whatever the case may be. Maybe they just don't have to work and they got the time and they want to put it into this. So if they want to get onto the grand jury almost as a fixture, they can. We're going to be looking for, well, every county is want to be looking for the most knowledgeable person to kind of rise to the top to become the foreman and the secretary. So we need 2 individuals that are really willing to come to an understanding of the process, what we're doing, and how the process works, and work out the paperwork and so on and so forth, which we'll always be working in the background with everybody until they're off on their own to help each grand jury kind of get onto their own feet. And then whatever we don't know, we'll seek out the answers and we'll find them. We do have a lot of talent amongst us. There's a lot of people that are very knowledgeable in different areas of common law and commercial law. And so we're going to tap into that. Our Monday night calls, we're going to start to move over towards maybe doing some, having guests come on, where we'll give maybe the guest 20 minutes or whatever they think they need to kind of introduce a particular thing that we'll want to, focus in on. And then they'll be available for, questions and answers. So we're going to turn our Monday night calls. They've always been an educational focus, but we're going to look into a lot of different subject matters. Everything will be recorded and available, to listen to or watch on the internet at will. We'll find a place on the site to post it, probably over the left side. We'll put something here. And so we're also going to move from TalkShoe over to this place right here, Webinar. And anybody who wants to come into this process, come into our Monday night calls, just needs to click on the Monday night call section here. And here's the information on how to register. All you do is click this URL, and you do it the same way you came into this this workshop here. Now, and there's also, when you click this URL, you'll also get some information for a phone if you want to phone in instead of come in through the internet. That's fine too. You can come in on the phone. And so I think this will be a lot better. This URL will be able to be used for at least 4 months. That's as far as I was able to project this Monday night call. So at some point it might change if we can't extend this particular program. So you want to save the URL. If you lose it, you can go back onto the site, click on it, and re-register again, and that'll be fine. The other thing is the phone number, and the code will remain the same again. So same code, same phone number, same URL for at least until the end of the year, I think December. Let me go back to the front page. Again, we set this front page. This is the place we need to all go out there and get people involved. We need to tell people about becoming grand jurist and how becoming jurist can save the nation. And if you get them out to the front page, we again work this around. We're now working, instead of 62 counties in New York, we're now working with 3,141 counties in the entire United States of America. So our goal, and this has changed a little bit from our goal in the beginning. Our goal is to get at least 6 people in each county in order to organize an election. So if once you get 6 people, and you could do this with 4, it depends on the 4 people and the time they have to set the election up. So I figure like 6 people. The time that'll be the most involved would be one day where you'd have to run through all the towns and the cities throughout your county and post on the board, that there's going to be an election in 5 or 6 or 7 days or whatever it is, at least 5 days before. So if you get out there 6 days before, that would be probably excellent. And it'll run a full 5 days on their bulletin boards. And this will, I think some people will be kind of fascinated what this is about, especially the way we wrote up the paper to post, which we'll go through that later in the program. I think they'll be fascinated, and I think they'll come. And I think they're going to get involved once they do come. We're going to talk about that a little later, too, how we're going to set up this process. But the thing is if you got 6 people, I think maybe, I'm taking a guess at this, the average towns and cities in a county, maybe 20, okay, or even 24, let's say. So 24, 6 into 24 is 4. So 4, each person would have to go to 4 towns and or cities and post the posting. And that's the hardest part. The first stage, we're going to get into the stages of the process of what needs to be done. But the only other thing is the evening of the event, where we're bringing the people of your county together in order to vote in the reinstatement of a common law grand jury within their county. So it's kind of getting out there and getting the people to acknowledge and say, yeah, we want to go back to that. We'll talk about, again, that's part of the program we're going to be talking about later. But I would say maybe the investment in time on that particular evening might be 2 hours. The whole election process, and we're going to do an introduction. Again, we're going to show that later, how we're going to do it. But I think the event's going to be maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes long, not much longer than that, a couple of minutes to vote, and then everybody will be welcomed in to join into the process of becoming a jurist. I think if possible, if we have an internet connection at those locations, most of those locations, because this is going to be done in the county seat. So it's usually a city, but I presume, yeah, it could be a town too. But it's done in a county seat. We'll use the town hall or the city hall in the county seat. They can't refuse the people the use of the hall. And they're not going to understand what we're doing anyway. We're going to be doing something with the grand jury, and yeah, okay, fine, and they'll book you. They shouldn't give you any hard time. It's done all the time. Any problems, we'll talk about that. But we get the town hall, we set it up. They usually should have set up already a screen and a projector, a digital projector. So all you'll need to do is to bring a laptop with you and plug in and then run the program. Of course, you want to go there prior or early enough to make sure that you can plug in. You might want to, when you go to set up the date for the process, you're going to want to look at the setup that they have, what's available, what you may have to bring, and if there's any special plugins to get into your computer. But everything should be standard. But just make sure that works and check it out before the event. You don't want to be stuck in the middle of the event trying to get something going. But that's part of the process. If they don't have that, which I'd be really surprised that the county seat, town hall or city hall wouldn't have that. But if they don't, then someone's going to have to get a hold of a digital projector, borrow one or whatever, or a screen and set it up. And like I said, the event's about 30-35 minutes. At the end of the event, everybody there will be invited to become a jurist. So we want to try to bring a lot of laptops. A few of us will bring laptops if they have internet connection, because we want them to sign up and register right there. People procrastinate, they go home, they get back to it, and then they forget about it, they never get around to it. So we want to sign them up right there, if possible. If not, then we send them out with a paper with the information on it, and they'll do it at home. So 6 people in each county could probably run the whole process. By the time you get to the election, you'll have a lot of inquisitive people. I think you have a lot of people that'll appreciate what we're doing and will want to be part of it, and then they will join up. And by the time you come to the end of the election, we'll have a 25. So we don't want anyone to wait no more. We want the elections to go forward immediately in every county of the United States. As long as you can get 6 people together, get it going. Get to your sister counties and try to get a hold of the leaders there. Get them out to our page. Get them involved in this. Get them to get their 4 to 6 people. Get them to start building up. And, of course, we'll want to build our ranks up through this whole process. There are some counties already have 50 people ready to rock. So whatever we can do between now and the election process, and then whatever we do during the election process, we cannot have too many people. That's not possible. And remember, most people are not going to be able to put a lot of time in this because they got jobs and other things to do. But they can put a day, a year, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days a year, from time to time. And just bear in mind, the economy, once we take control, will be a lot better, so our dollars will be worth more, and we can afford to take off time for work more. But again, no one is forced to participate if they can't. We just move to the next person. So that's kind of the new part of our plan. We need to move fast. There is not much time left. For anyone who was in for the first video that we played, that earlier video, that pretty much lays out how serious the problem is and where we are today in this problem. And I'd be very surprised if we got through this year without the collapse of the monetary system or some tragic national emergency that'll put us into martial law or something, because they're hell-bent on that. And we need to take control of our counties, and we get enough counties, we take control of our state, and then we take control of our state, we can then start dealing with our problems on a statewide level. But we can definitely start to work on our problems on a county level by working with our sheriffs and preparing for an emergency and how he's going to deal with that, and so on. So there's a lot of those little things we need to talk about, and that's what our Monday night calls are for. So people who haven't been making it to our Monday night calls should definitely make it. Again, we've had about 30 or so Monday night calls. They're all recorded on TalkShoe. They're available on the left side of our site, as you can see right here. All you have to do is click here, and this will play the latest one, the last one we had. Or you can click down the drop-down box right here, and you can choose a different episode. So you can listen into our past audios. We also will be placing over here somewhere another tab which will give you access to the recordings that we'll be doing on the coming Monday nights. So if you can't make it on a Monday night, you can at least come in and listen to see what was going on and keep up to date, whenever you have the time. Okay, so anyway, people can sign up right now. Okay, they can come out to this website, they go onto the front page, they'll read, get a kind of an idea what's going on. We have the video here, they can click on the video, and they can watch the video on our front page, and they can go through this whole process and see exactly, it's 45 minutes long, and it'll give a really good overview. I think most people are sold when they see this. So that's the thing they could do. And then, they have some questions, some basic, simple questions. How much time is involved? Once I register, what happens? So we answer a few little questions like that. And then we're trying to get them to click here to register. That's the key thing. They can continue to read on and giving them more reasons why. And again, we're going to try to get them to register and read on and more information all the way until they get to the end of the page. And again, we want to get them to register. But we do have the registry buttons throughout the website. You'll find them on the left side over here. I forget exactly where it is. Let's see. Here it is, register as a jurist, or on the top of our page. And so when people click that register for your county, you go to a page set up with a form that's attached to a database up online. And we'll be collecting information on every county throughout the entire country. And so you'll need to fill out the form. An important question in this form is, do you want to become a county organizer? Yes or no? We need as many county organizers as possible, so we hope a lot of people will click yes on that. But in any event, we talk a little bit about that. Now, if you click on becoming a county organizer, then immediately after the form is filled out, you'll be put into the database, and now you'll become part of that registry to be called. And again, those who want to be very active will be active. And by the way, there's administrative work to be done in every county, so there'll be at least 2 paid people, and that would be the lead or the head foreman and the head secretary that would be paid. Now, there might be some other part-times or even full-time foremen and secretaries, but we will need one who is really the head of it that could kind of give a lot of advice, has some knowledge, and so on and so forth, and learn the process. And again, we don't need a lot in the beginning. We just need people capable and desire to learn this stuff and rise to the top of the ranks to be able to, help others to do whatever they have to do. But anyway, once you fill out the form, if you do click yes to that, you will then be found on our state county page right here. And this will list out all of the people that have become county leaders. So anybody in New York could come here and find someone in their county and so on. Now, right now, the state pops out alphabetically. We're going to get back. It's going to take a little more involvement to get back to. We have a guy that volunteered to take care of this and set this up for us, so we're thankful for him. A guy named Lee. I don't know if he's in today. And he's from Wyoming County here in New York. So we appreciate the work he's doing for us here on this. And so he kind of set this up in the background for us. And when he gets a chance, he's going to set up the counties. He's going to fix the counties so that they become alphabetized along with the state. So as you can see in New York, D obviously should be before W, and W should be all the way down at the bottom. But that'll happen in due time. But right now the list isn't that big. Hopefully it's going to get big today. But we'll get going on this. But we need the volunteers. We need people building up. We need 6 people, 4 to 6 people in each county working diligently, setting up the elections, and continuing to try to get people to come into the system. We also want to get the newspapers at some point. We're going to talk about that later. That's going to happen at the election time. And that's when I think we're going to get a big windfall. I think a lot of people are going to get involved and come out to the site. But meanwhile, get Liberty people out here. Get everybody. Get your parents, your children, everyone, anyone that's of age to become a jurist. They have to be at least 18. So anybody that's of age to become a jurist, get them out here. They could be 90 years old or 18 years old. It doesn't matter. Get them out here. Get them signed up. Get them involved. It's their duty. And that's where we're at. Okay, but anyway, that's that with that. Once you click, once you join, let's go back to this registry page. Okay, once you fill out this form and you click submit, okay, you will then be taken to our page. This is a private page. And this private page welcomes you to being a jurist, and this is for orientation. This is the program you've come and attended today, but it's going to be up here. Now, we have most of it up here already because we did this last week, so a lot of our programming is up here already. There is some in-between things that we haven't got up. This recording is going to be put on the top of this particular program, and there's going to be another recording we're going to set in here. So by Monday, this thing should be complete. All the files and everything we're doing today, you'll be able to download in zips. As you can see, download zip files. Okay, you'll be able to download those things. And there's a couple of places. Here's some notes. You can, I took notes on some of this stuff, and so you can click on my notes and you can have a copy of the notes. And of course, the entire process. You got everything. Everything is downloadable. Everything is here that we're going to cover today, and lay out the process of the program. So this is a private page. You will not find this listed anywhere. You shouldn't share this with anyone because we want people to register and then come to this page. So don't just share this page. Let them register and come to the page so they get the orientation process. But that's the key thing. We're trying to get people to register and become educated and understand what liberty is. Let's see what else we have. I think we've pretty much come to the end. Oh, okay, yeah. You want to go up here and click on the what do you call it, the link, and save this link. Bookmark it. Put it in a favorite place. Because, again, you're not going to be able to get here on any of these links anywhere on the site. This is one direct link to this one page with all this information. We want to kind of keep it private. This is what people get after they sign up. So let's try to keep that rule. It's important we get people signed in. Okay, I think that pretty much covers everything I want to talk about before we get started. So let's get started with our program. Like I said, this was the introduction. So we'll get started. Hang on a minute.